So, with the disastrous release of Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1, despite the issues that game was facing, and despite the way in which things were presented, where you'd much rather be better off emulating those games rather than buying the Master Collection Volume 1, things are still moving forward with Master Collection Volume 2. So, previously, it was known that Master Collection Volume 2 was in fact going to be worked on, but we didn't know to what capacity exactly. And now at this point, we kind of know that, well, I guess as far as like the Metal Gear Solid games go, that we might be not looking at the games that we might like for Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 2 to have it. Basically, the main thing people are wanting is Metal Gear Solid 4 to no longer be on the, stuck on the PS3 at this point. Like that's the one game that's been stuck on a platform that hopefully won't be. Even when I made my video about which Metal Gear Solid game should be remade, people were shouting 4 from the rooftops in the comment section. But at the same time, I get why you'd want to remake 4. Like, again, that is like the Metal Gear Solid game to end all Metal Gear Solid games. But the problem with that is that you need to be a Metal Gear Solid fan to understand why this game is an absolute stunner, why it is a 10 out of 10 experience as a whole. But I do really think that that Konami should focus on building up every other game in the franchise before redoing 4, because it needs to be done perfectly, in my opinion. So, with that being said, Konami has assured players that Volume 2 of the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection is still in development. As noted by ex-user Kuwabara357, the game was mentioned during the during a Metal Gear production hotline presentation during Tokyo Game Show. During the Japanese-only discussion, Metal Gear Solid series producer Noriaki Okamura confirmed that work on Master Collection Volume 2 is continuing and promises to be worth the wait. It certainly has taken a while now, Okamura said via fan translation. Since we called the first installment Volume 1, it's only natural to expect a second one, and that's what we said years ago. But as we've repeated several times, we are making it. We've been working on it properly while also producing Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, which is now out, mind you. When the time is right, we'd like to share with you all news on not only its progress but also the direction going forward. So yeah, it has been a long wait for sure. He's absolutely right about that. So I do kind of wonder ultimately where things are going to be landing, I think, in the end. So Metal Gear Solid Master Collection 1 did come out October 2023, so it's been a couple of years now. Include Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake, Metal Gear Solid, which included the VR missions and special missions, and HD collection versions of Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, and Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, which people could argue, why is there no subsistence or some of the best versions of each of these games? Who the hell knows, But the lineup for Master Collection Volume 2, while it was never confirmed, people were really hopeful that Metal Gear Solid 4 was going to be among those, as well as Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. Now, that being said, if we're going down the path of chronologically, Peace Walker, Portable Ops, and maybe adding Ground Zeroes in there, maybe. But yeah, Metal Gear Solid 4, keeping in mind, chronologically speaking, is the last game in the series. And everything that came after is kind of like in between in a way. Peace Walker was actually remastered for PS3 and 360 as part of the HD collection in 2012, but yeah, Metal Gear Solid 4 was never released outside of the PS3, making a large gap for players who want to play through the entire series on modern formats. And to be completely fair, I do actually have my disc copy of the PS3 version of Metal Gear Solid 4, and I do in fact still have my PS3, so I guess at the end of the day, like, I could sit down and play it right now, but who knows, like, how much time I'll have to actually be able to sit down, and whether or not it's even going to be part of this collection, because I feel like there's so many murmurs going around, so much hope that 4 is going to be part of that collection. References to Metal Gear Solid 4, Metal Gear Solid 5, and Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker were reportedly found in the files of Master Collection Volume 1. So that's just the kind of data mining aspect that's kind of taken us there. So I do kind of wonder, ultimately in the end, where everything is going to shake up. There's no real way of being able to tell. But I do wonder where you guys think Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 2 is going to land. What games do you guys reckon are going to be in that collection? I'd be interested to know, because we can keep theorizing over and over and over again, just like which is the next remake that's coming from Konami regarding, the Metal Gear Solid franchise. We won't know until it happens, until it gets announced. So all we can do is sit down and speculate and make as many theories as we want out of our heads. But with all of that being said though, let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comments below. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel. I'm aiming for 500 subs by the end of the year. With all that being said, I do upload every day, so I'll see you guys tomorrow.